Hello, denizens of the internet. Denizens? Citizens? What is the difference? English talking
Is
people,
that not like
which is
a
just Becca.
don't like Asian countries say netizens because it's internet citizens? Some people
Oh,
Oh,
that
that's
feels very appropriate.
netizens.
Netizens. Well, hello, citizens of the netizens. Welcome to the Tuesday stream, joined today by three amazing people who's here to get some work done, question mark. Who's to say? Who's to say? Not me. Malin, how are you doing? What will you be working on today?
I'm good. I will be attempting to write some words into Project Alien. I'm very, very close to the end of Act 1 and would very much like to get to the scene which was the spark of inspiration for it, which is the next scene I'm gonna write. So I'm just like so close to finishing the scene I'm in and getting to that scene. So
Love that for you. Is it the it's not called
It's-
transition into. It's called break into two. There you go.
I get really confused by my own outline because I'm like, technically, yes, but also not really because I feel like it's the scene right after that is actually the break into two because that's the moment that is like, oh, this is the point of no return. So it's sort of like the almost there, but right before it, I would say.
Well, they're more like guidelines than actual rules anyway.
Yeah. I feel like it's like a you know what Save the Cat calls double bumps at some point when you have like several scenes that do sort of the same thing but like more intensely. It's kind of that vibe with this book so far. And there's a few moments that are like, oh, this is this but more intense. Oh, this is that but more intense. So yeah.
And when can the netizens expect a new vlog from Project Alien?
I've got one I finished filming, but I haven't started editing because I took so fucking long to edit the draft 4 of Dylan's vlog because it was spanning several months. And I
Oh
was
my
trying
god, I love that vlog. I haven't left a comment. It's on my to-do list today,
I've
but
just
I did
like
watch it.
I had to sift through so much footage because I was like, have I used this in a previous vlog? I think I have, and it was a mess because when you're vlogging for January till April, it's a fucking long time.
I did saw you had like a little section from France in your parents' living room. I was like, wait a minute, I know
used
these
that a lot.
curtains.
I was like, it's still. Otherwise, I didn't have these moments in the vlog, and I was doing.
I think
work
it was a
then.
different angle, though. I think it was a different angle.
Maybe, or I tried to shorten it. I tried to shorten the B-roll parts and to make them more like under 1 minute each in between like sections, so that it was a little bit less. Because it wasn't meant to be like a proper vlog with a lot of B-roll. It was more like, here's what's happened since fucking Jan. So
I mean, it's still going on like over 30 minutes, so
I know. I tried.
I'm very happy. That was not a criticism. I'm very happy with these choices, these executive decisions. So
and
you do
there's
some
no
writing.
shame in reusing B-roll in that.
Thank you, Marza.
Absolutely. Speaking of vlogs, Marta, I also watched yours back from your little writing retreat in London. How was
That's so
that? What is cooking in Marta Land, and what are you working on today?
Well, that was very fun. It was 2 months ago at this point because I'm the slowest editor alive.
Oh, please. Wallace has vlogs from like 10 years ago that we ain't even seen yet.
Wallace doesn't count. She just has like a whole separate category of editing.
That's fair. But it looked really nice.
Thank you. And
No.
I'm working on Project Site today. I'm trying really hard to work on it a little bit every day, which is in part inspired by Skeek's like little and often solved process.
Ooh.
I don't know, like when you and Anna did you like finishing your book stream and stuff, like
the ramp up thing.
and you were talking yeah, I mean also the ramp up, but just like how you're basically always doing a bit and you have like your daily goal and you always meet it, and it's like you don't write a lot in one weekend, like a 10K solve thing. You just do like little bits of progress and then you finish the book. And I also want to finish the book, so I'm trying to do little bits of progress.
When me and Malin read Bird by Bird and Lamont, she talked about 300 words a day, which is the
It wasn't
cap.
me. It was with Grape. You read that one.
Oh my god, it was not me. Racing Black women.
I've read so
I'm
many
so
with you.
sorry.
I get the confusion.
I mean, yes. I just feel like any crap book I've read with Malin. But I mean, great. My dear close. observation. When we read Bird by Anne Lamott, she talked about doing 300 words. Like you should have a goal, and like it should be tiny, tiny, tiny steps. I was like, okay. I did the rap weekend, and I can manage 500 for like short period of time. 300. I,
You're like slightly underwater. It's getting a
It's
little
like
tricky to hear you.
Your mic is like getting
that's
further
gonna be
away
your
from you.
problem. That's between you and God, not my issue.
You're back.
But yeah, like 300 words as a daily goal, that worked for me.
Yeah, at the minute I'm just trying to do like at least sit down for 10 minutes, even if I don't write any words and it's just brainstorming, but like just keep the book fresh in my mind so that if I then write for an hour on the weekend, I actually remember what I was doing.
I also feel like time-based goals make it easier to keep up with, to actually do the stuff, because you're not worrying about, I need to reach this many words, but you're just worried about it. I just need to work on it. Whatever happens, even if it's just staring at the page.
Well, not to play the devil's advocate, said every man ever, but I did a lot of different things for this project, and I found that if I did time-based, I didn't really like focus on actually because I feel like for drafting it was about accumulation, and like time I think could work for me for revisions, but I just, if I got 20 words in like whatever like 30-minute sprint I had each day, like that's not a whole lot of progress on the actual story. So I tried time, and I tried words, and I tried pages and chapters. And as much as I hate to admit it, I think word counts work best for me, just because it's so like it's such a tangible progress in a manuscript.
Yeah.
But it might not work for everyone, and I'm not every person.
As an overwriter, for me, it works best to do time-based goals, because if I do word count-based, I tend to only care about how many words I've written and not the quality of them. And I'm not actually advancing in the story and in the outline. And I'm just like pouring in like a bunch of useless words I'm going to have to delete later. But that's just a me problem. And I know that it's not how everyone works, but that's why for me, it was more the time-based goals that.
I feel like I've had that problem both with time-based and word count. So like if I have a really high word count goal, I end up writing trash. But if I end up with a really high time goal, I'm just there sitting, like looking at the blank page and counting it because I just want to hit that goal. So like really like small goals of whatever category are what works best for me.
You need a combination. Yeah, you need an in-between of the two.
I just need something that's like small enough to push me, but not high enough that I'm going to try and cheat myself out of it.
Yeah.
And that's on that. That's on period. Ms. Becca C. Smith, how are you doing? What are you well, I know what you're working on, but do you want to tell the audience what you're working on?
Yeah, I literally have on my I have like a to-do list, like a daily to-do list for the week. And literally I didn't put anything on it except giant letters for this week, finish book.
Oh, the book
that.
for the play? Like, the play for the book?
The book, yeah, the book version of the screenplay.
In a week?
Yeah, I mean, I only have like probably about 5,000 to 7,000 words left of the book.
Girl,
yeah.
Where do you churn out that book from? You've been so quick.
Well, no, because remember, I spent the first like all of January and a lot of February working on the book, and I got to the middle, and then that's when I realized that because I was also editing the screenplay. And then I realized with the screenplay that I had to rewrite the whole second half of the screenplay because my character wasn't really, she was just kind of living through it as opposed to like taking action.
Even if you only had a second half, it's still kind of impressive.
I've been working on it like all of April.
Unlike Becca, us, she works and she doesn't do like the streaming bit so much, so.
No, I mean, honestly, I get a lot of work done in streams, which is so helpful because sometimes it's really hard to self-motivate, and like a stream will be perfect timing, and especially since there seems to be a lot of them lately, so that's really helped. But yeah, I tend to do the time stuff. But I do it like an hour. Like I'll be like, okay, just for an hour, you're gonna write. And then whatever I write in that hour. So I like time, so time-based works for me more than the words right now because I don't know how long this rough draft is going to be, and I can't really care much about that right now because I already
Just gotta
know.
get it done.
Yeah, I already kind of know what I'm already gonna like because my
I find that this is the thing that motivates me to, because I've got an outline. So similarly to you, although mine is not as detailed because it's not a screenplay, but I think when I have a proper outline, I prefer knowing where I'm at in the outline because I'm almost thinking of it in terms of percentage or something.
yeah.
And so time-based works better. When I
Yeah.
don't have an outline and I'm pensing, word count used to work better for those, I think.
That's
So
true.
that might be why it's like the difference between the two.
Who's
Yeah.
to say? I've only ever written one book in my life, so my next process could be different.
And I'm sure it's a wonderful book, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Please give
That
me.
was your words, Marta, not mine. Not mine at all.
All our
Um,
words. We all want to read it.
That was my words based on the snippets you've been sharing. So I have some evidence that you've written a wonderful book.
That's just the good bits, and then there's lots of undercooked bits. But yeah, I'm gonna be working today on making a video, actually, not for YouTube, but for work, out of all
Oh.
things. So,
Why are you making a video for work?
because we're entering, me and this other girly pop, my work, not work wife, I don't like, my work sister, that sounds Mormon. My work bestie.
The internet has ruined work wife and work husband because they used to be absolutely fine to use and legit meant the person you're close to at work. I've had so many work wives and I've had some work husbands, and I've never once thought I would like to cheat on my husband with my work husband. Like, that's dumb.
I
And I
did.
think
Yeah.
it's ruined those terms.
I actually, my work husband, I was very tempted, did not, but now I'm thinking I should have.
Illicit confession. I love it.
Just saying, looking back, I should have done it, but you know what?
Well, I have no intentions to cheat on my work wife. First of all, I'm single, but second, she's also a woman. But yeah, we're making a movie for work. It's a little like ad for something. So that's what we're doing. So I'm like, we shot it all today, and like I try to do it in TikTok. Cannot manage TikTok as an editing tool at all. So I just literally uploaded all the clips into Canva, and now I'm just like going through Canva and editing the video like a boomer. But if it works, it's not stupid.
It works.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid. Let's say hello to some people. 30 minutes into this stream. Jessica is here. Hello, hello. What are you doing today, Miss Barry? How is Miss Rachel? Fancy seeing you all here. Oh, hello, Edgar. Tired.
I had to mute myself because he was drinking his body weight in water for a second there. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Just drinking for 10 minutes.
We're here pretty much every Tuesday. Katie, I don't know where you've been, but we've been here. Wow, we're raising Black women. Immediate dislike, warranted, so absolutely warranted, and during Black Month. I have now taken a break after finishing Krampus, but now I have 18 days before the hot, wet, queer summer jam starts, and I have to actually plot, outline, world build, and prepare for it. Yay! Stieg, I love you, but you gotta sort out the make. Mind your own goddamn business, Miranda. Not to be the Miss Mo of the stream, but you're hard to hear, and, that's how we should keep men. I don't know. Oh my god, literally Spain, Becca. Let's go, us. Maybe you should do a joint stream and finish your books. I can.
Oh
do
my
it.
god, please!
Yes.
That would be fun.
Hey, you guys. Hello, JC Carpenter, and welcome to this stream chat. If you want to tell us what you're working on, Miss Jessica has, but you other people, you're just here for a good time, or are you here for a work time? And we'll dive into the first sprint of the stream. What is lengthwise something we desire to endure? Any preferences?
35? I said 35, sorry.
35. Yeah, I can do 35. That works for me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I totally would. I think I'm gonna try and finish the book on Trouble Stream tomorrow.
Ooh, Katie. How close are you, Katie? Like, how many scenes / words do you feel like you've got left?
Yeah.
Call it, Katie.
And I don't know if I could finish tomorrow. I mean, I technically could, but yeah. My chapters are short, right? So it's technically possible. But when you have like that many left, you're just sort of like makes you feel like, I'm gonna just do,
Didn't you say you had 7,000 words left? That sounds like a lot by tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I can't write that much. Like like some people can do 10K in a day, and it's like I'm just not one of those people, So yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
stretching it
that
out for the week.
girl. That's why I have to do a little bit every day because I can't do big days. So
Yeah.
which means this is the work stream. I have 2 chapters left and roughly 3 scenes ish. So I'll do the epilogue tomorrow, I think. Beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful
Oh my
cover girl.
God.
We are gonna dive into the first 35-minute sprint. We're gonna pop the little soda can and then we're gonna swoosh down to 35 minutes.
Get your matching
Ooh.
drinks.
I don't have a matching drink.
I
Oh
don't
wait,
have any raspberry tea left.
have water.
I have squash. I can do this. 3, 2, 1, let's roll. was a lovely little fizz.
Oh no, Marta,
it's-
you video.
No, why? 1 second.
No worries. How did you do for that sprint challenge tries?
I wrote 530 words, so I'm pretty happy. That was we're mid dialogue, which I do really enjoy writing dialogue, so it was going quite quickly and flowing quite nicely. So yeah.
I love that for you. Ms. Marta, how did you do?
I wrote for most of that, so a lot better than my 10-minute minimum. And I actually finished the chapter, which I really was not expecting to finish tonight. So it turned out a lot shorter than I was planning on making it, but I also I was gonna brainstorm what to add to the end, and then I realized actually I'm just gonna end it because it felt like a good end, but it's really short. So draft 3, I might change it,
All
but
live
for now,
happily ever after.
yeah, why not? It's only Act 1.
Becca?
I actually did 108 or no 803 words. Wow, I've read that totally backwards.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, I got on a roll. I was good. I mean, it's heading towards the climax, so I find that I can write a lot more when I'm getting towards the end, chase scene, and then the big final moment. And and I did start. I guess Stieg is the only one that knows about this, but I went and saw Thunderbolts this weekend, and there's some just visually one of the big the biggest climactic moment of the movie is almost identical to the scene I had written. So I was like, crap. And it's just it's okay though, because thanks to Stieg, I did some brainstorming, and I came up with I think an actually much better version. So I'm now
A lot cheaper to film.
and a lot cheaper to film. Yeah, totally.
Let's not forget about that.
I know. And it always had bothered me because this is a movie that I want to make. And so I'd always thought, how am I going to pull this off? How am I going to pull this off? Because if you think about it, what I wanted to make it look real and good would cost about a Marvel movie would cost. You know what I mean? Just because of the visual effects. So this way, it's actually more grounded, more personal. But anyway, so I'm actually writing it as if I've already been writing it that way. And then when I do draft 2, I can then change everything up until this point. So anyway, yeah. But anyway, it's the end, and I'm getting there. So I'm hopefully we'll fly through it.
Hopefully. I believe in you, Becca. As
You
always.
wrote so many words just in 35 minutes, so we believe you.
At this rate, you might finish the book during this stream.
Yeah, I wish. Oh my god. But yeah.
And I did some cutting. Oh, there's a lot of work cutting videos. How do you girls do it? I couldn't be me.
With difficulty.
And I had 44 seconds of footage that I had to cut down. And Mel's out here I got 4 months of footage to cut down. And it took me 35 minutes exactly to go from 44.57 seconds to 20 seconds. And 20 seconds was my target. So I did it.
Okay.
Good job.
44 seconds is nothing. Oh my god. Yeah.
But it depends what you're cutting. When it's me talking, I use the automatic text script from Adobe Premiere Pro so that I can just go through the text and delete the sentences that I'm okay, I'm just saying nothing here.
Oh, sorry, 1 minute and a half. Still not a lot, but I just wanted to rectify. There's no speaking. It's only a visual thing.
That's harder because then you want to time it right, depending of if it's on music or something. That can take longer when you're just doing
I'll show you after the stream. I don't want to put my work wife, parentheses affectionate, on blast.
Okay.
But I'll show you what I'm working with. So that's what I did. Also, good evening, Adashiel. Adashiel? Call it.
Let's see what people did for that sprint. We got an epilogue. We sure do. Good epilogue. I love a good epilogue. I'm culturally conflicted about a prologue, though.
I find it really funny how much you love a fucking epilogue, but you hate a prologue. It's like, surely they need to go hand in hand.
No, it's like,
What?
night and day. They're the two ends to something. Like, a day is a start, a night is an end. Prologue is a beginning, an epilogue is.
I have, what's the expression? I have mixed feelings about an epilogue because so many epilogues in romance are just, and then they got married, and then they had a child. And I learned that apparently a lot of writers of romance that are writing like in the UK or somewhere else will have to add that in the US version because apparently US audiences need wedding and baby for like the romance to be
It's the
complete.
American dream, after all.
And it gives me the ick because I'm like, that's not what being a woman is reduced to, please, thank you. And so like so epilogues
Yeah.
Hey, it's the mother maiden crone. You gotta choose. There's no babies in my epilogue, though, so just be
okay.
warned, not warned.
You didn't say no weddings.
There's no wedding either.
Okay.
There's a memorial question mark. So oh no worries, Malin. This epilogue has no wedding and no babies. It takes place in a tattoo parlor. Lol.
Fun. Like,
I just realized what your epilogue is, Katie. Using my big brains. Additionally, hi, I was here when you guys were talking about the story grid. You sure were. I remember the icon. The icon that is additionally.
the avatar.
The avatar, yes. Sorry. Let's see. Revision on 2/3 of a scene. Well done, Wendy. Also, hello? Question mark. Have you called in earlier?
I think so.
The Dawdling Writer is here. Hello, hello. Yay, I did camera stuff for chapter 3. Well, that confused the hell out of me for a minute there, Marta. What did?
It was the ad.
But
Oh.
also, like, I got so into my scene, I forgot that I was supposed to be on stream. And then the music started, and I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm 97 words on Katie because, oof, yeah, I am struggling to lock the F in. Better luck in, babes. Lots of semi-dream sequences coming in. I hope none are ominous. Oh my god, Slayback, holy hell.
Thank you.
Jessica says, I have no idea how much I wrote on that sprint, which is fine. I'm not counting words yet. I'm going very basic plotting of it in bullet points, and then I'll get to the nitty-gritty outline.
Nice.
Also, hello, Alex Shostakov. Would you like my number? Alexei.
Is that the actor for Bob?
No, that is the actor. That is the actor formerly known as what's-his-face, previously married to Lily Allen. David Harbour. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Hot take: he was not that attractive in that movie. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, I find him attractive in Stranger Things, but not in the movies.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, this was funny because my mom like was thinking like he was her age, and I'm like, Mom, he's like 3 years younger than me. Like he's young. He's like in his 40s. And
that's
she's
what
like,
drugs and cigarettes do to you, kids.
Let this be
I
a
know, but I
warning.
was like, Mom, like if I was dating him, I would be the older woman. Like, she's like, no, that doesn't make any sense. My mom was secretly hoping. She's all like, oh, maybe
None of you know Slavic man. This is peak man for us. I
Do
mean,
you just want them to die early so you can, get them money earlier? That sounds good.
get the land. Cougar Becca for the win.
I know, like all the heartthrobs now, like the Pedro Pascal and David Harbour, they're all like they're around the same age. They're about like 48, 49.
Pedro
And-
Pascal looks younger than
Oh,
David.
he's so
He
cute.
does, but it's when you like he still has that kind of like older vibe, right? Like he gets the sort of
A
daddy
gentleman vibe.
everyone's saying, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just funny because I'm like, yeah, I'm older than all of them, so technically I could date them.
What's that? Is it half your age plus 7? Isn't that the minimum age you can date, whatever the rule is?
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
I don't know.
No weddings or babies, but a fuck-ass memorial. Crazy how you love to punish
Oh.
until the bitter end. It's gonna be a bittersweet ending. That's my fave. I learned a lot from Storygrid, so it's gonna be bittersweet. The only reason the prologue for Krampus takes place at a wedding is because of a plot. It's not even Krampus's wedding, so yes, you should, Stig. Not like I've been talking about what my final image is since I came up with the entire book concept. No, I knew this thing was happening. I didn't know the context, but now
Also-
it makes a lot of sense.
To me, just to reiterate, I generally think final image not the same as epilogue.
Mine epilogue, sure. Mine epilogue is a final image.
But
Is it?
okay, the
No, it's the final image basically doesn't exist.
to me an epilogue
127
is the
words.
same thing as a prologue. It is a scene that feels out of place with the rest of it. Like it's usually a year later or something. Like it doesn't feel like it's part. Like it needs to feel different. Otherwise, it's not an epilogue. It's just the end. It's just the final image.
I do not have the brain power to argue with a French woman at this point. So I'll just let you have this, Malin.
Yes.
Half your age plus 7. I haven't heard that comment in a while. Well, I think this is the moral contract of our society. I could never date anyone younger than me because, I don't know, keeping a conversation with someone younger than me, like, pulling teeth sometimes. They're not robbing a cradle, I'm the one fully knowing what I'm getting into. You're actually robbing the grave, Gaze. That's what you're doing.
That's what, it's the earlier comment. Call me a grave robber.
Oh.
Above, yeah.
Well, you see, I just love older people in general. Call me a grave robber, but I do love me some maturity, hitting them with the "you're so mature for your age." I also do prefer an older gentleman. I just statistically no. Statistically no.
Yeah, I've never
Aesthetically,
dated
there you go. Aesthetically,
Very different vibes.
that's not my vibe. Just had to reboot there a couple of times. But no, aesthetically, not my vibe for that movie. But Stranger Thing, ooh, I want a tall glass of that.
Agreed.
I love all these. Just the guy heartthrobs, all two.
all two of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be so real. I don't even know what a final image is. It's just the last scene of the book because it fits the narrative vibe instead of the actual ending. Even if it's the actual ending is more in theme with the rest of the book and is a tennis scene. I have an actual ending, and then there's like a, kind of a bow on top ending. So it's like an ending, but make it endier, basically.
Love it.
And it doesn't take place a year later. It doesn't it just wraps up the story nicely. I think. Could be wrong. I don't know. Someday some people will read it maybe and tell me differently.
We'll read it.
Kitty, you're so real for that. Kitty is very real. I have seen her live. Oh, I just want to go in and edit the cowboy book. That's all I want to do. It's all I keep thinking about.
Oh,
I shan't, but I do.
how much time are you giving yourself?
Well, I was going to give myself until the end of May. And
Okay.
then Katie was like, you should wait until the end of the summer. Give yourself 3 months. And I'm like, 3 months?
Oh,
Oof.
Okay, but how long did it take to write? Because I feel like it's been more than 3 months since you wrote the first act, so you could start revising the first act. Is that cheating?
That is true. I just think at this point, I am the writer of the story and not a reader.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest hang up for me. Like, I just need to get as much distance so I become a reader, basically.
Right.
I've read the first chapter a bunch of times, and that kind of sits fresh in my mind. But everything second chapter until chapter scene 55, I have not read since I wrote it. But how does one know? How do you know he loves you? If you're ready to edit, go and edit. Go ahead and edit. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready. I'm just a little boy.
I mean,
And
worst case scenario, you reread it and you make like basic notes like, oh, there was a spelling mistake here and this character changes names twice or something. You know, like the basic changes. And then you go back later when you're really ready to do the bigger changes. But
Yeah, because I think if you just did a reread, like you're giving yourself a couple weeks or whatever, and if you're doing a reread and it's getting overwhelming, then you're probably not ready. But if you're doing a reread and you're like, oh, I need to add this. Oh, you know what? I probably should add this. And you start making a notes list, then you're probably more ready. I mean, that's how I do it. Like if I read it and I just start going like, oh God, I don't even want to look at this. Like
there's that, or the other way around, which is you are too close to see the problems and you're just not thinking of anything.
That's what I mean by being overwhelmed. I just I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, but like it could just be you're happy with it. And you're just like, this is great.
That is not the mindset I am reading this novel with. I already know so many things I want to change.
Okay, but I would argue if you already know what you want to change, you don't have to wait.
Yeah, then you're already in the edit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you're actually already, your mind is already telling you what you would like to add, change, tweak, whatever, you're already in edit mode. So,
like if while you were writing, you were already coming up with like, oh, I'm writing this as though I'd done this, but early on I want to change that. Like you don't have to wait. You already know the answer.
Yeah, you're in the edit. Exactly.
Yes. I still think I'm going to give myself May out though, just because I want to finish the fan fiction.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then, like,
that's totally fair.
I was reading that. I would have preferred that as well.
Yeah, Becca is alpha reading the fan fiction. So feels like I have a job now. I have to turn something in.
Yes.
Which is really helpful. But yeah, no, I wanna edit it, but I also wanna keep it at a distance. So it's just that I'm so busy in June because I got a lot of shit going on, and then July I'm traveling for 2 months. So all of July.
For 2 months.
For 2 weeks. Sorry.
Oh.
I wish it was 2 months, but
I wish it was 2 months. 2 months in Scotland would be 10 out of 10. So it's I don't know. I don't have time really to sit down until after the summer. I might just spend the summer making like a reverse outline, replotting the novel, do all those bits and bobs, and then dive in once the summer is over.
That's a form of editing. Absolutely. Prepping.
We'll see. And then I can just keep writing the fan fiction alongside, because those two different halves of the brain for me. You haven't seen me live, but I do wish I was non-corporeal right now, but we must move. We must. Thank heavens I'm incorporeal. You all know my basic outline, but none of the finer details. I don't even know your basic outline. To me, you're Nicki Minaj. I guess that's the basic outline.
To me, you're Nicki Minaj making that specific face, and that's it.
Yeah, that's the only state I know you in. You said all I can think about is editing the cowboy book story, so I think you're ready. Thank you. I think the main worry is hating it. I actually love the story. I just wish it was done. Also, which would be the better title for chapter 3? He will not come when desired, or one draws blood to avenge.
The second one.
Yeah.
I prefer the first one.
Oh. I'm always about avenging, so.
Yeah. I
do also like this. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll do the second one too. We'll use both at some point, but I generally don't give a fuck about the order. There you go. I think the first one is more proactive, but the second one feels more Adazami. I think if you're going to do stuff with the secret book, use the second one, but the first one really slaps. There you go. The second one is more of a dramatic, so maybe save that for when the stakes are higher. There you go. I'm gonna dive into we're all actually gonna dive into another sprint. Not
you don't have a choice. We're your hostages here, Stig.
Yes, you can check in anytime you want, but you can never leave. I don't know if that's too old a reference for some of you kids, but
I didn't realize it was a reference. I thought it was just a general vibe.
It's a song lyric.
Both.
Now the song's stuck in my head. Thank you very much, but that's okay.
You're still welcome back. I just blast it while we do this.
I mean, apparently Stig
God,
finds
no,
talking to younger people infuriating, so I apologize very much for being too young to understand the reference. Please don't kick me out.
No, it's California. Technically, I'm in California, so...
It would be a shame if you didn't get back here. But yeah, I don't find that infuriating at all. I just think, we're all living different lives, and that's just a fact. We're going to do another Malin timer. How close are you to being monetized at this point?
Oh god, I'm so far still. I don't think I'm moving any further.
Well, I'm playing these timers like I'm getting paid for it.
I know, but I don't think YouTube cares, unfortunately. What is it saying?
I don't want to
Yeah,
lock
but this
in. I just
goes
want to
on.
have fun. I'm just a girl. Published
I,
author coming June 10th.
I still need 870 views. Hours, sorry, watch hours.
Better get on it, people. Better get on it.
Give me 800
Uh,
views.
We're going to do another 35 minutes. Was that sufficient for y'all's?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, then. 35 minutes on the clock starting now. Good work, everyone.
I just want to spend a day at the pool.
Oh, I would pay an appropriate amount of money to do that.
Same.
Marta says, love how we're all just for floating heads. Yeah, I had to leave the desk. Well, I didn't have to, but I left the desk. I was like, nobody needs to see that. Anyway, Malin tries. How did you do?
I did well. I wrote 300 words and finished that chapter. So next scene is the scene I really wanted to write. So I'm excited, but I haven't started it yet. And then I ate dinner. It was just reheated in the microwave, so that's why it was very quick. And watched, while I was eating dinner, I watched a video by Chad entitled "The New Era of Alpha Males," which is very funny.
It's gonna be a hard pass.
Oh, it's like so bad. Like it's the summum of cringiness.
I love that journey for you, though. Ms. Marta?
Sorry about that. Lost track of time a little bit. I start looking at the next chapter. The next chapter is difficult because I basically did the thing like halfway through writing draft 1, where I pretended I've already written something a certain way and changed something. So this chapter is where I made a note saying like, oh, this is when to start the subplot that I've pretended I've written but haven't actually written. I do not know how to write a subplot. So we're brainstorming, basically.
Love that. Ms. Becca?
I did another 800 words.
Oh my god, you're killing it.
But I didn't finish the chapter. I really thought these chapters would be short. So now I'm rethinking if it's actually 7,000 words I have left or like 20,000 words I have left.
Yeah.
So, but I'm okay either way. I'm just getting through it and I'm just going chapter by chapter because I do know some of these upcoming chapters are going to be really short. So I think
Really short.
yeah, because it's like a chase scene and you're going back and forth between the POVs. So there's like a chunk of maybe like 7 chapters where it's like her, like that. So I think, and these are all the ones building up to it. So they should be a little longer. So I'm trying not to get like, oh God, in my head and just focus on finishing this chapter. So if I can finish this chapter during the stream, I will be very happy.
I'll be very happy for you. Just because of that, we'll do one more sprint just for you, Becca.
Oh gosh, were you gonna? That's because you're like it's over. Oh no!
No, I usually go about 2 hours, but 1 more hour for you, Becca, because we need you to get your chapter done. Unless you don't want to, but
I mean, I would love to, but I also don't want to hold everyone up if they're like, I was planning on leaving.
what could Marta and Malin possibly have going on?
Exactly. It's not like we need to sleep.
I really
None of
want
us are
to-
working tomorrow.
I just want to watch the other half of that video on alpha males. Look, it's fine.
Preaching to the choir. And I added some music. I use that word liberally. I added some sparkle sounds. Well, actually, I also added just 2 seconds of Carmina Burana. So that's a proper song.
I'm so curious what this video.
I know.
You're showing us backstage, right?
Sure, it is just whatever your expectations is, half it.
I'm no expectations. Everything you've said has sounded crazy.
It's just 2 idiots on the internet, just 2 idiots at work, actually.
I
Making,
want to see your work wife too.
and yeah, you'll get to meet my work sister. Nope, that's not the word I used. What was it? Work partner? Work. Yeah,
So
work
I feel
partner.
like you calling it work sister after Marta is calling it work wife is making me combine the 2 words in my head. So it's like, your sister wife?
My work sister wife. Sure, we'll go with that.
I think you said work bestie.
Yes,
I
that
think that's
works
what you
well
landed
too.
on.
But if we all can communally agree that work wife is not a derogatory term, then
I agree. It is not derogatory.
okay, then that's good enough for me,
Yeah.
honestly. Let's see. Yes, published author coming the 15th. 10th. Fuck. The person from the bookstore said their copies are coming on the 15th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's the 10th. Katie, call in.
No, it's the 10th.
Yeah, June 10th, because I would have to go into
100%.
exile if I didn't know that date.
100%. Yes.
I love how we're all floating heads. I'm eating dinner though. I can't. I can't show. You can, but you not.
I choose not to.
Just 100 words for chapter 3. There's nothing just about it. You got 100 words. Great job. But I cannot control myself. Someone tell me to do my exam work. That's in less than a week.
Do it.
Do it. Wendy made some notes and finished revising a scene, working on old fanfic, not my book. 843 words for Katie, possessed by the spirit of Becca.
It's more like I was possessed by the spirit of Katie Ann. I feel like he crushes the word counts.
Hell yeah, Katie. Hell yeah, some deep mystery. Killing it all. If anyone's interested,
You should have given me a wrench.
I should, but here we are. You have a wrench. What do you mean?
No, I said you shouldn't have. If you should
Oh,
have done videos.
very low stakes. I got several bullet points done and reached the spicy bullet points. Woo!
Ooh.
And Adeshale. Where did you go? There you go. Adeshale did some edit changes. I'm working up to a scene that I've been struggling with.
Okay.
What is the scene? Call in. Maybe you just need to get this writing out of your system first. Can't wait to see the video. It is definitely June 10th. Yeah. Wish I had advice, but I'm also bad at making myself do what I should. Go, Katie. You got it, Stieg. Thanks. I think. Yeah. No, I think I made executive decision to start edits at the end of May, or start the revision, not the edits, but like
Okay.
the analytical part. I want to start at the end of May. So that's also something I spent that sprint thinking about.
Okay.
If we're going to wrap up before I go to bed, we need to just jump into the next one for Becca, for Rohirrim.
I'm like, I'm feeling guilt sprint.
Not guilt sprint. You better get 800 words, Becca, or you're just letting the entire
I'll finish
team
this
down.
chapter. Okay, I will do
Got
it.
it, meaning the pronunciation. Yes, I got that. I tried my best, but I don't always succeed. Guilt sprint, guilt sprint, guilt sprint. This is going to be the last sprint of the evening. It's going to only be 30 minutes, so you know we're ramping up, Becca. So
Okay.
buckle
I'm
up.
gonna do it. I'm gonna finish this chapter.
Okay, I believe in you. Yeah, you
And
both
we
got
all believe in
chapters
you, Becca.
to finish for Rohirrim. Yeah. 3, 2, 1, let's roll. And now we're all waiting with bated breath. You finished?
I did.
Well done. Katie, call it
Yes.
at gunpoint.
Amazing.
How did you do, Malin, for that?
I did okay. I can't remember where I was at before, but I'm now at 1,154 words for the stream. So I feel like for the overall stream, I'm very happy. And I finished watching the video that I wanted to watch. So.
Love that journey for you. Marta, how did you do?
I basically I didn't even do brainstorming. I did note gathering. But that counts as work. So I sort of went forwards into the chapter where I first started pretending that the subplot existed and figured out okay, this is the end point. Now how do we start? And I've got all the information I need to start brainstorming.
I love brainstorming. I love having a brain, I will say. Might be a hot take, but
Well, I wish I didn't have one sometimes.
you know I am against lobotomizing women, Malin. Not on my watch. There's two truths in the world. Men shouldn't review books and women shouldn't be lobotomized. And I finished the video, ? I don't even know what I'm making. But I made it. So it is done. Any closing statements? Oh, maybe we should look what people did before we go. Kitty said, I did finish the chapter, and I've written 1,800 words to stream, and I've broken 100k in the manuscript. 100k.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. Holy shit.
That's amazing.
Followed by some casual misandry. But we move. Still working on the dialogue of a scene. Well done. Go Becca. Woo! The vibes worked.
Yes.
Yes,
that.
indeed, for Rohirrim. We're so close to the end of this book. I'm literally going to fucking scream.
Oh my god.
Katie, will you be able to finish during tomorrow's stream? Can you confirm? Or
Yes.
deny?
Mm.
Oh, what do you mean? I'm almost at the end of this. And you've been writing this book for what, 2 weeks? I wrote my book for a year and a half. Absolutely.
Yay.
That's so funny.
Well, that brings the 2025 season to an end. Bye.